Hello guys, this is the Dude at 2, and this is my third Joseki video. I realized watching my other videos that I probably got a little complicated. Even, that I'm a beginner, I'm starting to talk like the complicated, advanced people, which is not good for my video series. So what I'm going to do is go back to the basics. I'm going to keep it a little more simple, and stick with the tried and true as opposed to my experimenting and variations and such. So we're going to learn a new Joseki today. We're going to learn another Komaku, and it's going to be with the same approach. This may take a couple videos to cover. It's called the Avalanche Joseki. Now, though it can lead to very complicated patterns, I found that any Joseki can, really. So we'll keep it simple. I'll show you the very basic Joseki. We'll practice it a couple times and learn it, and then we'll do a couple simple variations of it. So let me give you a little zoom in here. We'll start. I'm using my Chinese Gobon I got from Yellow Mountain Imports, and double-sided Yunzi stones for this video. There's the 3-4 point right there. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing, a white approach. We're actually going to do the same attach on the side. If you remember, normally white's next move would be here, and then black would play here, and white would play here, black would play here, white would play here. That would be the Joseki. Okay, but white also has the option of pushing through down. So white is going to do that this time in an attempt to possibly cut these black stones up. So, okay, well, black says I'm not a fan of this, so I'm going to play down too. Now, what white is going to do is play over here. And this is the basic Joseki known as the Avalanche Joseki. This is it. This is as simple and basic as it gets. There are a lot of options right here. Black can play either here, can play here. Okay, black can fix his weakness, which is here, because if he don't, white could play here, and that kills the stone, or doesn't necessarily kill it, but makes the stone very weak. Okay, black could play here, or black could also play here. These are the options black has. Okay, but we're going to keep it simple, and what we're going to do is we're going to fix black's weakness. Okay, but now what this does is this leaves white with a weakness, because if black plays up here, white's going to be pushed, which is not good. So white's going to fix his weakness also. It's going to go here. Now black has a weakness. If white pushes over here, black is clamped, cut out from the outside, and now he'll have to inch a living down here, which he don't want that either. So instead of that, black is going to play here. Now, why don't black just play here? Because if black plays here, white will play here, black will play here, they'll just inch up. And remember, we learned from our other Joseki that this these 2 points, each stone is not good enough. What this does is this allows black to get ahead of white. Okay? And also, if white does try to cut, he's wasting his time, because black could just play there. And if he cuts, he gets surrounded and dies. If he cuts, he gets surrounded and dies. So most of the time, black's not going to try to push through that. Now white has a weakness. This is why it gets a little complicated, and this is why it's such a good Joseki to learn early. White's weakness is here. If black plays here, he separates this stone. These white stones are now in danger. This black stone is in danger. It's not good. So, white could block here, but that's slow. Okay. So what white's going to do is white's going to play here. This is going to end, this version of this variation of the Joseki. So let's go through it one more time, shall we? Black plays here. White approaches. Black attaches. Easy to remember. Same attach. But instead of going up here, white's going to push down. Black's going to follow. White's going to go around. Black's going to fix its weakness. White's going to fix its weakness. Black's going to fix its weakness. White's going to cover its cutting point right there. And that is the basic variation of the Avalanche Joseki. The reason it's called a variation, if people were wondering, is because the actual Joseki itself ends right here. Meaning, everything after that is a variation, because black, like I said, black could play here, could play here, could play here, could play here, and they would all still be Joseki. We'll cover some of these other places black plays, especially this one. It gets really complicated, but it's worth covering. I'll probably do it in a future video. But to keep it simple, black, if you want to keep it uncomplicated, black will protect, white will protect its weak area, black will jump out, prevent itself from being cut off, and white's fine with that. Instead of following him, white's just going to protect its cutting area too. It's called the Avalanche Joseki because it's pushing down like an avalanche. Instead of slowly spreading out up, it just pushes down, and it gets more and more gruesome. And it could actually it can get a little funky. As you'll see, what the next one we'll cover is we'll cover what happens if white doesn't. Let's see how I can explain this here. If white doesn't protect his cutting point, white goes here, black goes here. White goes here, black goes here. Normally white will go here. Well, let's say white decides to go here and make it a type of moyo. Okay? What black's going to do is what's called a clamp. He's going to play right here. Okay? He don't want to play here because he'll get surrounded. Okay? So what he does is he clamps. It's kind of tricky because if white decides to play here, black will play here, and now black is out. He's out of the box. Okay? So what white technically should do is play here. Okay? And this is going to prevent that type of thing. And then white's going to jump. Black's going to jump. And what black's going to attempt to do is cause white some trouble. Okay? White will play here. Black will play here. Let's see. Here. White will play here. Well, when white's here, this becomes a weak spot. We'll go over. Black will play here. White will jump up. Black will jump over. White will jump out. And now it becomes a bit of a battle. Everybody's pushing, and this is just an example. It's just proper Joseki, but it's not something we're going to cover in our basics here. It's just an example of how crazy things can get with this type of Avalanche Joseki. So, as a recap, we've learned this Joseki, pushing out, here, and you extend here, right? And we've learned this Joseki. Remember to practice, guys. Just like I'm doing, over and over again. Best way to learn. And here. And we've just learned the Avalanche Joseki. There it is. And if you want to finish it, with this variation that's very popular, we can do that. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. This is my third Learn Joseki with me video. Questions, comments are always welcome, and so far I've been able to answer every question and comment on every comment. And I've even been able to make a video on shapes that was requested. Thank you for your continued support. Keep it up, and I'll see you next video. Thank you.